That's smart to do, but I don't negotiate with terrorists. So. What's going on, guys? I have Nazerati here. I came to Texas to visit. She was going to come to Phoenix, but I just wanted to have her on the channel and kind of have her explain her, story and hopefully share some unique perspectives. As you know, I did an interview with Ari on his channel. I did an interview with Ricky Hayes, and I've been learning a lot from everybody, which I think is great, and I like coming and sharing it with you guys and letting you learn with me. So I don't really know a whole lot about Nazerati here, or Naz.
Yep.
That's what you like to be
Whatever
called.
you want to call me. You can.
I don't really know a whole lot, so I'll just kind of ask questions as if we're just having a conversation, and hopefully she can shed some value and tell her story, and whether it motivates you or teaches you specific strategies or whatever she wants to get into, either way, we'll get into it. So you want to introduce yourself and tell us what you're all about?
Cool. What am I all about? What's up, people? My name is Naz, and I'm so happy to have Noah here in Austin, Texas. And so talking about what I'm all about. So I do dropship mainly, as that's my business. That's like where most of my income actually come from. But going back to where I started, if that's where we're going with, we're gonna go back to. So I started dropshipping back in 2016, and I remember like I was still working at I think it was 2016. Yeah, I was still working back at the gym. I used to work at LA Fitness actually, and then I was kind of overworking like Monday through Saturday all the time, and 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. I was looking up like ways to. First thing I was looking at was like running a Facebook ads, because I was trying to open a gym and run Facebook ads and get clients. Then somehow I kind of like found out about drop shipping and selling products. And funny thing, like while I was still working, I started testing products but I ended up quitting. But when I find my first winning product, which was a golf trainer. I've been talking about it. I don't know if you ever watched on my channel. I've talked about it. My first winning product was this golf trainer. I don't know if you've ever seen it. There was
yellow.
Yeah, there was like 2 billion people scaling that. And like I remember that was like the first thing. And that was my 10th or 9th product that I've ever tested. And I was just so blown away. Like, what the hell? I'm making money.
Yeah, damn, you popped a winner in your first 10 you ever did.
Yeah.
Damn.
Well, but that was 2000. That was like years ago, though. You know what I'm saying?
Facebook ads were sex back then.
It was so much cheaper too, because like I would say right now, like the average cost price for what I usually sell is like $10 to $15. Those days it was like $1, $2 cost per purchase, which is kind of insane. Because I remember I was selling it for $14.95, which is like now you can't really sell. At least I don't think you can really sell products for $14.95 unless you bundle it or like somehow upsell it with something and be like super profitable. But I remember like it was $14.95, and like the cost per purchase was like $2, and like I was so happy, like, oh my god, like I'm making money out of this. Like, and that was just like the moment that I'm like, okay, this is real. You can actually make money, like drop shipping and doing these things. And then at that point I was like, I definitely, Facebook ads is something that I have to like master. Like the other part of dropshipping, like you can always outsource and stuff, at least to my opinion. Like I'm sure other things you can outsource to, but like Facebook ads was something that I had to master and like learn the most about.
Yeah,
when
like I started like late 2017, like around September, and our ad strategies were just absolutely retarded. And they worked super, super good. Like you didn't even really need a strategy, to be honest. You could just kind of make an ad, or actually we would just steal ads. Like people would go through all the bullshit to make the content, and we would just straight up steal it and just put it up with a garbage product page.
Yeah.
Like no description. Like you remember the AliExpress standard description?
Yes.
Where it's like category fitness.
Did you use that?
Yeah, like we would literally just import it, leave everything the same.
Funny.
And like winners back then, I mean, it was crazy, like 3 to 4 ROAS, and it barely took any work at all.
Yeah.
Just importing a product, and you actually started way earlier than that. So like Facebook ads have definitely came a long way.
Yeah.
Since then, which I mean, kind of a good thing, but kind of annoying because back then is like when the hype about Facebook ads and dropshipping was alive, and now it's more like you have to look at it as a legit business. It's not really just throw something up on a website and run ads and make money anymore.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree. Because now, like even with Facebook, I think anybody that opened a business manager, now you have to verify your business. You have to verify a lot of things. Those days, it was just, there was no such a thing. You didn't have to verify anything. Like, it was just like, you would go, I remember I even made a like fake account those days, like bunch of like profiles. So I could, now you can't, like there's no way you can actually make a profile and then start running ads on it.
There were no spend limits, nothing.
No, nothing. It's crazy how like everything, it's kind of a good thing though, because I feel like it pushes a lot of people out because they're like, oh, I have to do all that thing. So if they're not serious about it, they're just going to be, you know what, I'm not going to do this. Because people that actually want to do things, they stick around. And people that are like, you know, just looking for that easy money. Let me just run some Facebook ads and make money. So
it also kind of opens up an opportunity. Like if you know the changes that are coming and you can kind of see what direction Facebook ads is going into, then you can start implementing the strategies early on, which is when they work the best.
Yeah.
Right. Like when CBOs. When Facebook made the big announcement that CBOs were going to be required, I think that was late 2019.
Yeah,
it was a while ago now.
They said there was going to be mandatory, right? But they never made it super mandatory.
I mean, probably like 6 to 7 months before they even started talking about CBOs, I was already testing with them.
Nice.
So, and then when they came out saying like, oh, we're going to require it, everybody thought it was stupid, but you know, not many people were scared just because we were able to see like, okay, this is probably what Facebook is going to do. And it's like that for anything. Like right now, we know that with the whole iOS 14 update, the Pixel is about to basically be completely remade.
Yeah.
Actually, I heard that they're actually going to get rid of the Pixel, which makes a whole lot of sense. And they're just going to start using like event codes.
Yeah.
Obviously, we don't know what's going to happen. But I think Pixels are heavily flawed. You know, you have over tracking, you have, you know, because people will do it like in double browsers, or they see the ad on their computer and then they buy it on their phone. Like there's so many things that can go wrong. Whereas with the new method that they're going to use, which they're actually being forced to use because of, you know, Facebook trying to push, I mean, not Facebook, Apple trying to push them out.
Yeah.
I think it's going to actually perform a lot better than any Pixel ever could. Just because if you get down in the code, Pixels are terrible. Like the tracking is always off. I think Facebook is going to be in a very, very good place like in 2 to 3 years. But like
that's a positive outlook to have.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah.
Because it is. I mean.
Yeah.
It's what's going to happen, but the transition is going to be very, very painful. Like the next 2 years are going to suck because everything's going to be constantly changing.
Yeah.
You're going to have to change your website, change your pixel, and anyways.
I can imagine because every time like I feel like I log into Facebook like Manager, I'm like, wait, what is
nervous.
that message? Yeah, there's a new message always. Like yesterday I logged in and there was something that it was talking about the events like disappearing. I'm like, wait, like, and I think it was a couple days ago someone else also sent it to me. They're like, oh, what is this? And I'm like, wait, I don't have that yet. I don't get that on my Facebook Manager. And then yesterday I opened and I was like, oh wait, what is this? Yeah, so it's like a lot of changes that you don't know what's gonna happen. But honestly, like anything you can always work around and adjust to it. Like it's business is always going to change. Dropshipping always going to change, but like it's just about adjusting to what's coming rather than just getting nervous. And you can just get excited instead.
Yeah. So, anyways, late 2016, I'm assuming, you popped your first winner.
Yeah.
You realized you could actually make money in dropshipping.
Yeah.
How did you get to like where you're at today? Because it's been like 4 years now.
Yeah, it's been almost. It's crazy thinking about it because I don't feel like it's been that long. You know what I'm saying? Like thinking about I never had a normal job since like then. Like thinking about, you know what I'm saying? And as crazy as it sounds, I was so stressed at what I was doing before that like actually starting a business and doing this didn't seem that stressful to me. Like I'm not a stressed out person, but you know what I'm saying. So what happened, obviously, like after that, I actually met my business partner in one of those e-com groups, but he's very invisible usually. He doesn't like to be out there. So he like, that was kind of a blessing because like he's very smart. He used to, I don't know if I'm supposed to say that on YouTube or it's going to get, I don't know, we'll see what happens. He used to run ads before this on, let's say, adult websites. For years, like 10 years before that. And apparently for some reason they got banned and they couldn't do it anymore. So that's how he got into dropshipping too. So he had a lot of online marketing experience, which was like at the time, like I was just getting started and he was very experienced. So I was learning so much from him and like everything else. And then, so what happened, we literally this is what we would do. Like we mass test like bunch of products. In like, I would say 2016, 17, I would just test with one video. But in the last probably year and a half, I usually test with like 2-3 different videos just because I noticed there was one case, I think in 2019, I had a winner. I don't care if talking about it. It was like a ear camera. And then we tested it with 4 videos, and then one video ended up being a winning. Like literally all of them, the other 3, they did not perform, and one of them just like blew up. Like it was just doing so good. So since then, I was like, all right, I have to give this product the highest chance of winning. So I would just test with a bunch of videos. So that's what we would do. Like we would literally mass test like 30, 40 products in like 2 days, and like try to find at least one winner out of those 30, 40 products, and just scale it and just kind of repeat and rinse and repeat and rinse and repeat. And I had like one of my biggest winning product in the beginning of COVID. I kind of categorize winning product. I don't know if you agree with me or not. We have small winning products. We have medium winning products. We have big and like kind of a life-changing winning products. There are a couple like small ones that the margin is small. It would last maybe a couple weeks. It would die off. And then we have like medium ones that kind of like I don't know, I would say maybe 10, 20,000. They make it 10, 20,000 and they just kind of die off. And then we have like big ones that would last like more than maybe a month or 2. And then we have like these life-changing ones that could like go for months and just not die off. And in my opinion, that's just like my personal opinion, because this is what I've been doing. We always look for very unsaturated products that not that many people are scaling anymore. And usually those ones are the ones that last so long.
Yeah, if you don't get banned.
If you don't get banned. Yeah, I mean, eventually I feel like everybody gets banned at some point.
Yeah.
Like you're going to get, because a lot of people are going to steal your ads. Some people are going to report those people. Even if you're doing everything ethically, eventually, like even you're running it for months, eventually you're gonna get banned.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest reason why most winning products don't scale to like over 1 million, is just because like so much shit goes wrong.
Yeah.
Like if it ain't Facebook, like they'll ban you, and then you lose your pixels, so now you got to start on a fresh pixel. And
yeah.
I had that happen once on a store that we did 2.1 million with.
Yeah.
And when we actually relaunched on a new pixel, it did better than the original pixel, which doesn't happen. Like that's not a normal thing that happens.
No, it's not. Yeah.
So we had like a little bit of luck there, but like most of the time, it doesn't happen. So if you get banned, or payment processors, like especially if it's your first time scaling, I mean, you're not gonna make it very far before Stripe is like, hey, we're shutting you down, or PayPal's like, no.
Do you have any holds on your PayPal's, or like now is like you don't get any holds anymore, or do you use PayPal at all?
I do recommend it.
Yeah.
But my PayPal is completely screwed.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah. Most people happens to them. I negotiated a lot with PayPal, so I got at all time for the last 30 years, whatever I sell, 20% goes on hold.
Really?
Yeah. I had at some point I had like 250,000 on hold. It was just like, okay, just sit here. Yeah. Whatever. I don't care anymore.
That's smart to do, but I don't negotiate with terrorists. So. They just want to steal your money. I say like use them until you can't.
Yeah.
And then you're good without it. Like it definitely helps with conversions, especially in the very beginning stages. Like it just makes it so much easier.
Yeah.
If you start without PayPal, it's gonna be harder to find a winner.
Yeah. Also, but one thing is also like if people just getting started and unlimited with budget, it kind of kills their cash flow. Like say like you have like all your money like randomly, that's at least what happened to me in the beginning. Like I was just, I'm making money, and then one day PayPal is like, oh, you know what? The first time I got like 6 months hold. So like it kind of kills your cash flow.
The 180 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes they'll hold like 50%, 20%.
Yeah.
If you get 100% for 6 months, you might as well just shut it off.
Mm-hmm.
Like that just happened to our largest client. He just crossed 700K like last week, and he just got his entire PayPal banned. So they give you like 2 weeks to completely stop processing payments, and then they hold your money for 6 months. I don't know the exact amount he has in there. Probably not that much. Maybe 50 grand at most.
Yeah.
Because most of it goes through Stripe, but he's now gonna have to turn off PayPal, which conversion gets messed up, and it actually also messes with the pixel.
It does, right? I was curious.
Because now it's like a completely different person that's buying it.
Yeah.
PayPal users are no longer going to be able to buy it. So we were hoping to take that store to 1 million. He would have been our first $1 million client using the actual agency service. Like I've had students do it.
Yeah.
But no agency guy yet. But
Gotcha.
we'll hold on and see if we can
Do you think
Pulling it
actually Facebook like optimize, like if you have PayPal, they find people that use
Oh,
PayPal
yeah.
to buy? Yeah, right.
1,000%. Like everything.
Cool.
That's the bad thing about Facebook is like it's so sensitive with the optimization because they're trying to connect all the dots and try to find like the perfect user to show your ad to, and people being able to pay through PayPal is just going to attract a different kind of buyer. So, go try it. Like go turn off PayPal on your site and see how your ad account reacts. It's not going to be just a drop in conversions. It will actually affect the whole thing.
Yeah, it does. So here's one thing I've tested is what like actually turning off PayPal when I started with PayPal with that store, and it would completely screw everything. Like my conversion would drop dramatically. But I've tested like stores without PayPal from the beginning. For like brand new Pixel, and I could scale it without PayPal. Like, so I think like you said, Facebook actually finds people that like are willing to pay with PayPal, and people that are not, they don't usually use PayPal. So I think if you started without PayPal from the beginning, it could have potential.
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same thing with apps, upsells, all that stuff. Where I say like once you find a winning product, just don't touch anything. Like don't add any apps. Like I got clients that try to change up their whole product page. It's stupid.
Oh no.
And like literally just changing like one letter.
Yeah.
I've seen whether it was a coincidence or not, but I've seen the tiniest shit mess with it.
Yeah.
Adding upsells messes with the placement of the purchase pixel, which means Facebook is now tracking purchases in a slightly different way.
Yeah.
But like your whole ad account just goes to shit.
Yeah.
And then you regret it. However you start is how you should keep it.
Yeah, 100%.
Same goes for PayPal, upsells, different apps.
Yeah.
Which is why I like to just keep things simple. But if you did want like upsells and no PayPal and all that, you should definitely start like that.
Yeah, just start definitely like separate everything and all that.
I think it kind of offsets it though. Like if you're a beginner, PayPal makes it easier. It just does. Like I've had students start without PayPal because they're in India or whatever, and they actually can't even get it if they wanted to. And they just always struggle way more to find a winner than people that do have PayPal. And I know that just because I coached literally a couple hundred people at least. And every single time that was the case. So even if you just make it to like 10K, and then you get fucked, like at least you saw that 10K.
Yeah, at least, yeah. No, 100%, I agree, 100%. But do you feel like where you run ads? I feel like it's getting opposite. I'm asking you. Where you run ads also affect. Like at least I've seen it. Like I feel like people that no matter like from different locations. Like if you're like let's say if you're running ads from like India or like Middle East or something else, I feel like it's more of a struggle actually finding a winning product.
Yeah, I think it depends on. I mean, I debated this like a long time ago with my mentor because when I was doing coaching, I was having people from France, Belgium, all over Europe and India a lot. I've had plenty of students from India. And, we were just talking like, hey, how come like Europeans ad accounts were just cracked? Like
really?
Yeah, like it was crazy. The students that I had that were from Europe just always like popped off like in the first couple of weeks. And there's no way it was a coincidence because it was like the same strategy as everybody else. So, we started debating, like, my mentor said, my mentor, Mark Hagar, was like, oh, maybe Facebook's trying to, like, expand into that country and get more advertisers. So, I don't know. It could be a case, but...
Now that you mention this, it kind of, like, made me think, like, I feel like actually people in Europe found winning product easier now that you said it. No, actually that you said it, I'm like, they get better numbers, I feel like.
They do.
CPMs are lower, cost per unique link clicks are lower. And I never looked at it that way. I was like kind of like, oh, you know what, your ad account is better than, because you know how some ad accounts are just crap, like you just don't perform. And some ad accounts, no matter what, like they just do so much better. So that's what I thought it could be. I'd never thought about their location, like because they're in Europe.
Yeah, like I have 3 students that were able to surpass $1 million in sales, and 2 of those were in Europe. One of them was from United Kingdom. So have you kind of like transitioned into more of a branding aspect? Because I know a while ago everybody was just strictly drop shipping from AliExpress.
Yeah. It
was super simple to set up, but I see now a lot of people are transitioning into fulfillment houses, 3PLs, bulk ordering.
Yeah.
all these different kinds of methods branding their stores, so what are you kind of doing nowadays to like stay ahead?
So I usually do that once I find a winning product and I know it's like getting stable, like sales looks good. Like I know, when you know it's going up, like it's getting better. I usually order in bulk. Like I don't want to mess around with waiting. Like I don't want to risk it. You know what I'm saying? Especially not because since I usually use PayPal, I always do that. Like last, what's up? What are you laughing at?
Because you use PayPal, so you have to have good shipping time.
Yeah, I have to. Like, I can't mess it up, And I have a really actually good supplier. I've never actually seen such a good. This is such a bad thing to say, but I feel like I've never seen like you can work with like tens, 20 people like in China, and still you're like, why is this person still lying to me? Like we've been working together for 6 months. But like there's this girl that I still been working, like I've been literally scaling through her for the last 2-3 years or whatever. And she's a little bit higher price, but like she, I can bulk it.
What's her name?
Carrie.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know who that is.
Yeah, no, I buy everything in bulk, and she actually like through her, I got things delivered within like 10 days, which is kind of insane.
From China?
For China, yeah. And but then last time, like one of the products that I talked about, so I'm just going to talk about that. You talked about, you asked about branding. We sold foot masks twice. So once in one store, we got it to 300,000, and then it got banned, and then we made another store, tried to sell it again, and that one got to like 350,000, I think. And then that one we actually ended up branding it. So like once I was testing it, I always test on general store just I like to test everything. And then I make that store one kind of look like a one product store. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to, obviously you never want to, people always ask, oh, should I move this to another store? You never want to do that because you're already selling. Like you don't want to mess up your pixel. You don't want to mess up anything. So I kind of try to, in the beginning especially, like I don't want to mess it up like, when it's like on this highs. But yeah, I always like, we ended up like ordering everything in bulk and kind of like sending it out. But for that, I had to use DHL, which is kind of an expensive shipping. This one was like in the middle, like when a couple months after the whole pandemic thing was happening. This thing happened after a couple months after the pandemic was happening, so I had to do the DHL because there was literally nothing else was working. They wouldn't do Union Express, they wouldn't do. I think e-packet was completely dead, and so we were doing just DHL. And yeah, so we ended up kind of branding it, asking Carrie like, hey, if you can design this, or like we actually designed it, and then if she could put the actual design on the foot mask and like do this and do this and do this. And then after that, like I feel like and after that it was kind of, because it kind of blew up so quick. Our conversion usually is like 3 to 4%, and that one was like 7 to 9%, which is kind of for a foot mask.
A foot mask.
A foot mask. One of those, you've probably seen it, because like I literally saw, because we made the ads ourselves, and then I saw our ads everywhere on TikTok, on like Twitter, like everybody stole it from us after it. Yeah. Like at that point I was like, you know what, I give up, because eventually we ended up getting banned like after 600,000.
So you did like 350K with that one?
Well, on the first store, and then we got banned after that because it was foot mask.
And were you bulk ordering that whole time?
Yeah, I still actually have like 6,000-7,000 still.
How is bulk ordering? Okay, so you did it at like a pretty decent scale.
Well, I would buy it in China, not here, right? So Carrie would keep it at her warehouse like in advance. So like I would pay, let's say 15,000 in advance. We were doing, I think the highest number we got was like 35,000 a day. So at that point we would just like order a lot, like a couple of days in advance. You know what I'm saying? So like we would always have foot masks in the warehouse to get it shipped out.
And how is that with like managing cash flow?
I mean, we still have the PayPal 20%,
Oh, so that makes it even worse.
It was still worse. That's why I never like, how you want to have your business obviously separate from your personal. I'm just like going on trip. I'm like, well, no, I'm making money, but I can't spend this right now.
Yeah, because it's kind of like, Stripe takes what? Are you using Stripe?
I was using Stripe, yeah.
So they take like 3 business days to pay out. So.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. For that one we were fine. I didn't have any problem with that, like during that time, because at that point I had enough money to not worry about the cash flow. Yeah. But yeah.
I just say that's like my biggest concern with getting into bulk ordering is, whatever sales you make today, you're gonna have to fulfill them today.
Yeah.
Well, you don't have to fulfill them today, but you probably should.
Yeah.
And you're also going to have to pay Facebook today.
Yeah.
Like, they take their money, like,
Oh
instantly.
yeah, that's true.
And then Stripe doesn't pay you for, 2 to 3 business days.
Yeah.
So you can, like, get yourself behind really fast. Like, I've
Yeah.
seen, especially students of mine where we scale super duper fast, they'll be doing 10 grand a day and they'll only have like 5 grand in their bank account because they're constantly reinvesting and pushing forward, and
Yeah.
they never really see the full profit amount until the end, like when everything is off.
That's true.
So that's probably my biggest fault with bulk ordering, but kind of like you might have to do it soon.
If you have to do it if you want like PayPal to treat you right.
Yeah.
If you want to use PayPal and you don't like, it's just like I don't want to have any issues with PayPal. So like I'm trying to like I have to have the tracking numbers like on PayPal and doing everything right because I don't want to deal with like PayPal be like it's worse than I rather like not spend any money and like be careful with that rather than like PayPal send me another email. Oh, like this money is going to be on hold for longer. It's just like that's the biggest fear I feel like of the dropshippers.
And are you still doing Facebook ads only, or have you moved to other platforms at all?
No, I only do Facebook ads. I kind of looked into Google ads and stuff, and I think one thing with me is like if one thing is working really good, I don't want to like I feel like I get too distracted when I get to what I'm saying. I know you could kind of expand and learn from other people and stuff, but I feel like I get so distracted when I feel like when something is like working well, I could just maximize that one thing to whatever I can rather than just trying to like do multiple things at once, if that makes sense.
I feel that. I mean, with branding and bulk ordering, and especially if you're not bulk ordering straight to China, like if you have to bring it to the U.S. or something like that.
That's the worst.
It's just like super risky to do.
That's super risky.
Yeah, like especially if you're just relying on Facebook. So,
yeah.
I mean, I don't know about you, but I have a team, like probably 15 people in total.
Yeah.
For my agency. So I'm having kind of like 1 or 2 people starting to look into Google ads and figuring out what's going on over there, because we want to transition from doing drop shipping to more really good shipping times, really good products, just because you're gonna have to soon anyways.
You're gonna have to, yeah.
And that's kind of like part of our strategy is like if you have Google ads, if you have other platforms like influencers, all these things pushing to one product. I think Facebook is probably the best for testing.
Yeah.
But it's a lot more safe to actually go in bulk order, and invest all this money when you have like sales coming in from multiple places.
Yeah, because you never know what actually would happen with Facebook. That's like the biggest fear. Like you could wake up and then be disabled. Yeah. Like, oh shoot, I have this much mass.
Spend like 20 grand bulk ordering, and then your ads get disabled, and you relaunch, and you're doing everything you can to try to bring it back, but it just doesn't come back.
No, well that kind of happens. I have like 7,000 foot masks right now in China. Like it's just sitting there. Like maybe one day.
Which, I mean, you can utilize your email list. Like Ricky Hayes in our interview, he pointed out some really good ways to minimize the risk of bulk ordering, like utilizing your email list.
Right.
He kind of went at it from the perspective like you're gonna sell it eventually. So as long as you utilize like emails, upsells, and stuff. So maybe one day you'll have a store that you can use those masks as an upsell for. Yeah. And then you can take care of the 7,000 or whatever you have sitting. Yeah. Is there anything else that you would share with my audience?
I think if you're watching this and you're thinking about dropshipping, you should definitely start your business and don't procrastinate, or anything in life, basically. That's all I have. Yeah, you should just do whatever you want to do.
Yep, and you should definitely check out Nazerati's YouTube and Instagram. Do you post anything on your Instagram? Like
on Instagram? Yeah. Barely. I'm kind of trying to focus on business rather than focusing on Instagram.
I'll link her YouTube down below because I know that you make videos like very similar to mine, like going in depth about Facebook ads, product research, all kind of stuff like that. So I'll put the link below if you want to learn more from Naz. Hopefully she'll be going through the comments too. So if you want to leave your feedback or anything that we missed, or if you notice one way that we could get better, then please leave it, because you help me, you help her, you help the people in the comments that are just kind of scrolling and viewing. I know that you guys do that. Everybody does that.
Yes.
But yeah, I think this was a fun interview. Thanks for bringing me to Austin.
Well, thanks for coming here.
Head over to Nazerati's channel to watch the interview that I'm about to do with her.
Yes.
On her channel. So yeah, we'll see you in the next video. Peace.
Bye.